And we're back to another episode of the Mike and Sully podcast. I just realized I'm still wearing headphones.
Yeah. And I'm Sully.
And I'm Mike and I'm wearing headphones. And I'm not happy about it, but you know us. Limited editing. So we're going to power through this very on par introduction.
It would be so hard to shave up the first 5 seconds and start over. That jingle you just heard.
Right, the jingle. That lovely little jingle that you just heard to lead into this chaotic intro came to us from none other than The Whale.
Woo! Splash! Right? Blowhole!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about The Whale.
Well, we're in season 4, and that's his nickname, because he didn't offer up a nickname. Also, I didn't ask.
Yeah.
Probably should have.
Man.
But he's a really talented artist, local to this state, and also to my family.
Yes.
And we have been wanting to get a jingle for a while, and we were going to pay someone on the internet to do it. And then I said, you know what, I know a guy. Let me do some little reaching out. And he sent us the clip of the song within 2 minutes, I think. Mm-hmm. So that was much easier process than I was expecting. Yeah, so thank you, The Whale. And it's just great. Just beat bopping around. So yeah, that's our new theme song, our new intro.
Let us know if you like it. I had been online a few days ago on Fiverr, which is a website where you can hire people to do things. Okay. And primarily music-based.
Nice.
And I was looking stuff up, and I messaged Sully and said, $40, is that too much for a fully produced theme song? And then she said, let me get on this.
Let me get the whale on the horn.
Yeah. I like that. Wow. Mike and Sully and the Whale.
Wow.
That could be an episode.
Yeah. That could be fun.
Let us know. Contact the Whale.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll send this to him.
The Whale's underground. Like, it's kind of off the grid.
Well, he is kind of off the grid, I think.
So, let us know.
I'll have to send this to him directly.
If you send this to him directly, I would like to give a personal shout-out to the fact that I particularly enjoyed the way you responded to the request. Meaning, Sully said something along the lines of, like, hey, I have a great proposition
I have a very exciting proposition
for you. Very exciting proposition for you. That's important. You sold it as something really exciting.
That's exciting.
And then you said, do you want to make a theme song for our podcast?
Yeah.
And he responded with multiple messages, but the first one just said, thrilling, with a period. Thrilling. And I could hear it. I have no idea what he sounds like.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah, once.
Okay.
Maybe twice.
Okay.
But I'm sorry, I don't know what you sound like.
That response was on brand.
Yeah, that's what I assumed, that aspect of it, but in terms of what your voice actually sounds like, I made one up. Mm. It sounded like a world. Also my Frankenstein voice. Frankenstein's monster voice. To be clear.
Thank you for correcting that. The comments were about to blow up.
Whoa. Mary Shelley turning in her grave. Speaking of Mary Shelley, you're off to a hot start this year in reading.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, yes. I don't think that I announced my 2025 goals.
No.
And I'm not going to go through them all.
Right.
But one of them is more reading. Mm-hmm. I have like a specific number I want to hit, which I actually don't remember it, and it's not very high, and I'm not going to say it because I'll be embarrassed. Okay. But I mean, we're halfway through January, and I've already read 2 books.
I'm scared for what number you might think is low, if you're already at 2.
Well, I've just been doing this not to reach a goal, just because the books have been really good. Like, it's not been like,
just keep reading good books.
Well, I should. I'll outline them now.
Okay, great.
I read The Women.
Yes.
By Kristen Hanna. And I read The Mountains Sing.
But they're both about Vietnam.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
The Women is definitely about Vietnam.
Okay.
It's about an American, like, she's like 21 or something, year-old nurse who goes over there to, like, help the soldiers. And then The Mountain Sing is about a Vietnamese family. It starts during the Vietnam War. They live in, like, the north. But then it, like, goes back in time. Doesn't go back in time, but like they reflect on like family.
Oh.
So it like goes back to like I think the 1920s or something. So it's like, it's so good. It actually got my seal. Like, I embossed it.
Whoa. And you only do that on really good books?
On my very
That's
favorites.
very fun.
Yeah.
That is very fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, off to a good start.
Okay. That makes me... you're killing it. I've only finished one book so far.
What'd you finish?
The Hobbit.
Oh, well, I started that. That's going to be tough.
Have fun.
It's going to be tough.
I got 4 stars from me.
Wow.
It's my first time ever reading it, to be clear.
I've actually already read it.
Oh.
I read it in the 6th grade.
I'm rereading The Fellowship of the Ring right now.
Do you think The Fellowship of the Ring is better than The Hobbit?
Yes.
Is The Hobbit known for being good?
I mean, it has a lot of nostalgia to it. It's more of a quote-unquote children's book.
Yeah.
So, but
I read it as a child.
Check out Bleep's Reading Trove. If you know my real first name, look that up on Instagram.
Reading Trove.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Blanks, my real first name, Reading Trove, with an underscore in between those. That's my new Bookstagram. I just started that in this month. And I actually posted a reel. So I'm trying to just do random stuff like about books. Like I want to interact.
That's fun.
So when I have a thought about books, I want to just post it.
Yeah.
Which I can't really do on my regular Instagram because I've cultivated such a unique following.
The aesthetic is already set.
Yeah, that I can't just...
You can't go away from that.
So, I had a thought while reading The Hobbit, and I told Celia about it. And then I was kind of just talking at her for like probably an hour or two. And then I was like, I should really record this.
Oh.
Like
and
a summary.
Made a reel?
And so then I did a reel of summarizing my thoughts on... it was basically the question was because again I want to post material that gets other book readers interested and interactive with my material.
Great.
No one interacted, but that's okay.
How many followers do you have? It's a
13.
It's a brand new account.
Yeah, but it got over 2,000 views.
What?
The reel,
wow.
But just not a lot of interaction.
That's a lot of views.
Probably more than all my TikToks.
Oh, TikTok's dead, right?
Well,
I heard it doesn't work anymore.
Is that what happened today?
I received a text
stopped
message
caring.
that didn't work.
A text message? From what? Your local constituent?
From...
Or I guess you would be a local
My cousin.
Oh. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I posted a reel about what constitutes a children's book.
Oh. Okay.
Because again, I went into reading The Hobbit thinking like, oh, this was like marked as a children's book, like he wrote it for children, like for his kids and for other children.
News to me.
And then I'm reading it and I'm like, this is not a children's book.
Yeah.
Like it was challenging to read at parts where it's just like, but that might have just been his prose, or just like the way in which certain chapters were written. But in general, I was like, wow, this doesn't feel like a children's book. And then this is great because I can go into a little bit more detail because my 90-second reel didn't let me explain this part of it.
Okay.
But there was
no spoilers because I'm reading it next.
Okay, fine. Then never mind.
No, spoil it.
Well, there's a specific bit that happens around...
Okay, I've actually already read it, so yeah, you can spoil it.
Around middle-ish of the book, there's one specific bit that happens in a chapter where I'm like, okay, this is a children's book because it's like so clearly written to be silly and funny. Where I could almost picture like an adult reading it to kids and them like laughing because they show up at this guy's house who's half man, half bear. And he hosts them, but the wizard is nervous that he won't want to hang out with all the dwarves because there's like 14 of them. Mm-hmm. So he's like, look, Bilbo and I are going to go in and say hi to him. Then every 5 minutes, 2 of you come in.
Yeah.
So that way he just slowly gets accustomed to how many of us there are. And so like they go in and he's like, who are you? And then they start telling the story of what they've been through so far. Mm-hmm. And Gandalf keeps like slipping up where he accidentally references more people than are in the room. So like originally there's only 2 of them in the room, but then he references like, well, several of us, and then the guy who's hosting them is like, several, since when does several mean 2? And then 2 dwarves come in. And then that repeats like 6 times as they all come in. Yeah. And I thought that was so funny. and just like silly.
That is silly.
And then I was like, okay, so like that is childlike in terms of what was written. But I don't know. I still didn't like. I don't know what the answer is because it can't just be theme. Because you could write a very adult novel about puppies and ducks. Like it doesn't have to be theme that drives whether or not it's a kid's book. Like Dr. Seuss could have been dark and just rhymed everything. So I don't know. I feel like it's a bunch of factors combined that make it into a children's book, but I don't know.
Would you say like Harry Potter, like the first couple of Harry Potters are kids' books?
I never read them. I mean, if I were to go off the movies, it'd be close.
Yeah.
But I mean, part of the reason I want is what's the difference between something being for children and something just being warm? Because I still watch the first few Harry Potters because I enjoy how just like lovely they are.
Well, yeah.
So but like.
Some aspects are silly goose and
like what?
Like Roz doesn't like them very much because like the magic is silly.
The magic is very silly.
Their little gag magic tricks,
Yeah, that's true. Dobby.
Yeah.
In the second one.
Yeah.
We just watched Deathly Hallows Part 1.
So good.
Celia, the end of that one.
Oh, well, still really good though.
The knife.
Yeah.
I said, "Are you going to cry?" She said, "No, I don't think so."
I'm really strong.
And then it looked not great, and so I waved her over to my chair in the living room. Yes. Yeah. But.
Anyways, well, I don't have an answer for you.
That's okay.
But maybe once I read
Go find my account.
Or email us.
Or email us if you have an idea of what constitutes a children's book. I just thought that was a thought-provoking question.
Yeah.
For readers.
There you go.
What's our email?
MikeandSullyPod@gmail.com. No ampersand.
No ampersand. Recently I had a moment of awkwardness. When some people think I'm a good public speaker. Mm-hmm. I think I have my deficiencies. And one of those in particular was highlighted in the fact that Celia had never seen... There is a 2-hour... You can all look this up. There's a 2-hour video of the entire memorial service for my dad.
Yeah.
And I go back and watch it every once in a while. Mostly my part, because I spoke.
You did a really good job.
And I was hilarious. Thank you. But I say that half as a joke, half because it was pretty funny. But
it was good.
Mostly to, I guess, give the audience an idea as to how, I don't want to say opposite it was of everyone else's speeches, because some people did work some funny stories in, but I was definitely pretty much severely positive.
Yeah.
And short. So thanks. Shout out to my mom. I yelled at her about this like a week ago because we went over to see her like a day after I showed Celia this video for the first time. So again, that was the context, I guess. Celia had never seen this video before. So then we go over to my mom's house and I go, "Yeah, thanks a lot, by the way." She told me 2.5 minutes, short and sweet, and then every other speaker goes on for at least 5 minutes, if not more.
Yeah.
And it's wow.
But
kids couldn't come up with much.
Well, you got to leave them wanting more.
I guess.
The audience wanted you to stay up there longer. So,
yeah.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you. Well, and I had to I was speaking on behalf of my siblings.
Yes.
So, anyways, so we go and watch, or I wanted to show her. I was like, "Hey, I feel like you should see what I said." And I said, there's this one joke in particular that gets a huge uproar because the context was Celia and I had been discussing the trope of meeting your love of your life at a wedding.
Right.
And then it was well, what if you met the love of your life at a funeral? Okay. And I said, that's funny. I tried to pick up a girl at a funeral. She was like, what? And I said, yeah, I can show you. And because in the middle of my speech, I say something along the lines of, my dad got to see 2 of his 3 sons get married. And then I said, sorry about the 3rd. And that was supposed to be the joke.
Yeah.
But everyone started laughing pretty hard that I went with the energy. And I said, any takers? And a guy came up to me, I think it was a distant relative of some kind, came up to me after the whole service, when we were kind of all just standing around saying hi to people. He came up to me and he said, and he was like kind of laughing. And he goes, I don't know if I've ever seen someone try and like do a pickup line at their someone's funeral, let alone their own father's. And like he seemed like half proud of me, half disgusted. And anyway, so I had to show Celia that.
Yeah, I didn't remember the specifics, but I remember it being a very good speech.
Thank you. All that to say, because I was really worried I was going to lose how this tied into how I got into the story.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch. I had to put a blanket over my head. I just wanted to listen, because I can't watch that video because I touched my face so much during my speech. So much. And like if I were to show it to you now after saying that, you would laugh. Like now, because you'd be hyper aware of it. It's like literally every other word I go like this. This. I scratch my head a lot. Like, but I'm still talking. Like I'm not pausing. I'm just touching my face a bunch. So it was definitely a tick I had. And hopefully don't have as much. But
never noticed that.
Yeah. There you have it.
Who recorded that? And is it...
It is on YouTube.
Yeah.
His name is, I think, Terry
Just a friend?
something. He was a guy that went to our church growing up. And yeah, he set up a big camera. There's another, my mom said that there's another, like, footage of the whole thing from, like, a wider view. Like, so, because his was, like, kind of in an aisle.
Yeah.
And then, like, there's apparently a wider, which I want to see that one. Because his view is a little too, like, focused. I can't see how many people are laughing at the big joke.
Well, it was a huge memorial. Like,
it's that big, it's a big church.
Yeah, jam-packed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ended up in none of the photos. So it's hard to prove that you were there. Like, someone, like, my mom has an album on Facebook for it. Mm-hmm. And there's photos of just people milling about.
And I'm not in any
You're
of
not
them.
in any of them. I don't think. I
remember where I sat.
Okay.
It was in the back.
Not did like you sit with your family, or did you sit with our other friends?
My family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were you late?
Okay, rude. And no. Was not late. Was not early. I'll guarantee that, but I was not late. Yeah. And I think I said hello or goodbye or whatever to you and your mom.
Okay.
But
that makes sense.
There was like lines.
Worst thing ever. I complained about this as well. Yeah, we did greeting line, like as if it's a wedding, and it wasn't. And I was all alone too. Yeah. Everybody had their. Well, okay, my mom was all alone, I suppose, but yeah, like I had to go stand off to the side, and then everyone else went and stood with their spouse, like my siblings, and then people lined up. Yeah. To like come, offer their respects or whatever, but it made me question. I just don't think if the roles were reversed, I would not have gotten in a line to pay my respect. I would have paid my respects differently. Yeah. If I was in obviously if it was someone I knew, I would. But there were parents of kids I went to school with that I was not friends with getting in line to say hi to me. Yeah. I don't know who you are. Thank you. There's one person in particular. I don't want to dox them. I'll tell you after we finish recording. I cannot wait to hear. I don't think it'll be that exciting, but it's just I remember this person vividly because they reminded me of who they were. Because they didn't let me get away with a polite hi. They were like, "Oh, do you know who I am?" kind of situation. It's like, no, I don't.
Why are you in my line?
Yep. So. That's a quick aside. Sorry, I just remembered that.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to give that a watch.
There's a really fun. Okay, just last one because I think this is very nice. There's a man named Blueberry. That'll be his code name.
I've got nothing.
It doesn't matter, but I know. He was a very good friend of our family. Well, still is a very good friend of our family's, and he gave a speech. And he is just a very fun man in terms of the way he speaks and the way he tells stories. And so, basically, comparing it to the fact that the superintendent of CK also spoke, and it was a very, bureaucratic speech. It was nice, but, this was the opposite. This was a very close friend giving just like a fun, heartwarming kind of speech. But like the one line that was very funny because of the way he said it was he starts. It's very early in his speech, and he goes, "When preparing for this, I was asked to try and narrow down like my five traits of Jeff. I can say his name. 5 traits that were my favorite." And then he goes, 5? Just 5? That's like trying to tell you what are the best colors of the rainbow. And it was very like random, but very nice. Anyways, and he said it just like that. The rainbow.
Rainbow.
Yeah,
I love that.
It was nice. It was very nice. So, moving on. To quickly pivot before we go into an actual segment.
Right.
Because so far we haven't.
General chit chat.
Yeah, this has been general chit chat, and this is on something we wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I think now we can level set a little bit of what season 4 can look like, what season 5 can look like, what season 6 could look like. So, actually,
are you guys ready for 30 more episodes?
Well, that was so cool. So, quick shout out to Sonneman Sideshow.
Right.
First of all, just saying the name out loud because I felt a little bad that we didn't actually get the name in.
Well,
we had to add it.
We did our best.
Yeah. But there's another podcast, the one I just named, Sonneman Sideshow, that we gave a shout out to last episode via talking about them.
Yeah.
And then putting in our description because they did a fun video. They then have given us a shout out.
Yeah.
And which is very fun and offered to collab.
Put our
put us on blast.
In front of the
doxed my entire name because I did not edit that yet, but now it's been edited.
Nice.
So yeah, they gave us a shout out and have offered to collab with us.
It's so fun,
which is exciting, and we want to collab. But I wanted to put you on the spot actually, and say, can we, if we're going to come out and say, hey, I think last year the approach was we're going to get 2 seasons in the year. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and you can disagree, I feel like our approach this year and every year going forward should be let's record as many seasons as possible.
Wow.
And not in terms of forcing it. Like I'm not saying we go out of our way to record extra stuff. And we don't need to do 2-a-days. Unless absolutely necessary. But I'm more so saying we record whenever we can, and we don't worry about, let's say we've finished season 5 in November.
Oh, okay.
And then we're like, well, shoot, if we start season 6, we're not going to finish by December 31st. I say we give up the year. Like, I don't think everything has to fit in a year.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
You like that?
I think that's good.
There you have it.
I do think it gives me a little more motivation, though, having a timeline.
Well, but we know we're going to at least get... Like, I would say the timeline should apply to 2 seasons.
Okay.
Because we know we can comfortably do that in a year. Because we took a 3-month break.
Off.
Yeah. Yeah, we made so much money that we took a 3-month vacation.
3-month hiatus.
Well, and that's one of our goals, by the way. If you want to hop into goals.
Goals for the pod?
Yeah.
Well... Now I'm a little confused if it was 2 seasons or 3 seasons this year.
It's as many seasons
as we can, but at least 2?
At least 2.
2
It's not a goal. Like, 2 is not a goal. 2 is just the bare minimum. It's the floor.
Okay, why don't you start with our goals?
You don't want to keep guessing what I'm thinking?
Okay, one of our goals was to get a jingle. So, nailed that. Thank you,
Ding!
The whale.
Yeah.
Another one of our goals is to make some money. So loud.
That is so loud. I doubt the mic picked it up, though. What we just heard was an OJ on the loose yet again.
An emergency
Big
happening
police
outside.
chase. Yeah, I guess that could have been an ambulance.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
We want to make some money. Bring in the money.
Give us the money. Money me.
Yeah. Do we have other goals?
For the pod?
Sponsor? Was that one of them?
Get a sponsor. Which might go hand in hand with getting paid.
Yeah.
The jingle. Collaboration.
Yep.
Again, a lot of these are low-hanging fruit because we've already half set them up. But yeah, collabing.
And a live show?
Live show. That should be a goal.
That would be really cool.
I mean, do we bother teasing it if we're not sure if it could even happen? The specific aspect of it. Or do you think I should just leave it alone right now?
Come on, let's just tease
All right, you're right.
They're on the edge of their seats. Give the people what they want.
So right now, what we're teasing is right around the corner. Mark your calendars.
Quite literally.
Get out your calendars right now. February 2nd, 2025, Groundhog Day. We want to hopefully do a birthday live show of the pod. Yep, it'll be my birthday, and I figured I could guilt some people into joining a live show.
I love that.
So the way a live show works, at least seemingly on this new format we use, is exactly what you think. You would be watching live, and you can comment things.
That would be so fun.
As well as, the fun part is we could add people, like, if they wanted to video call in, we could add them.
100%.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, we could have people, hey, if you've always wanted to tell me something, like, you can. Or if you have beef with me, join the call.
Yeah.
Like, just air
Send
it out.
this to your list of, like, people you know don't like you.
Yeah. Hey, dude, that would be fun. Oh, I want to write that down.
Okay, write it down.
Well, actually, no. We have the recording.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at?
I want to set up... This is a goal.
Okay.
This is a goal. Sometime this year. Doesn't have to be season 4. But I would like to set up something. I'm not sure how much goes into it. I'm not sure if it costs money.
Okay.
So that's why it doesn't have to be season 4. I want to set up a voicemail line. Where instead of having people have to send us emails, which apparently no one knows how to do, I have a voicemail line where we could play voice messages.
That would be fun.
Like on the episode and react to them.
I
was inspired by there's like this group of people who do like football voicemails. So like after like the NFL games happen each week, they have a line that people can call in and leave, and it's really funny. Like if you're into football, because just like really angry fans leave like messages where they're just screaming. And it's just fun to listen to. So we could do a version of that. We don't want you screaming. We want our version of that. Yeah, I keep hearing that.
It looks like it's gonna fall. Nice. There you go.
There we go.
I love that idea.
Okay.
Give us a call. Do you know how that works?
I don't. That's why I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what technology goes into that.
No idea.
Like, I don't know if it's just something I can set up or if I would need to get a phone.
Yeah. Feels like we're going to be losing money.
Well, you have to invest to get...
Right. Spend money to make money.
Hey. So that's like 5-ish good goals.
Those are really good goals. Yeah.
And some of those goals are trickle down to our making money goal.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if we introduce cooler things... Like, I mean, come on. 10 episodes was a gag. 20 episodes was like, are they serious? 30 episodes is like, oh my goodness. If we get to 50 episodes...
That'd be pretty crazy.
People are going to be like, wow, they're still going.
Wow, they're still going. Still is not listening.
No, I'm not tuning in, but whoa. That's
what can they be talking about?
Maybe one of our goals should be some sort of marketing plan.
Yeah.
Just that is void of the word Instagram story. Like, we can't rely on that anymore.
We have to have some sort of social media presence, though.
We do.
Like, we don't have any.
Can we revisit getting a high school friend of ours to post our links for
I would
us?
love to revisit that.
Yeah.
Who's the coolest
Spend money to make money. Which of our old high school friends has fallen off the least? And why is it... It's not us.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it'd have to be a specific person. Someone who is cool enough to have some influence.
Right.
Enough followers to have some influence. But also not so cool that they would never post something like this ever on their story.
I have a question.
I'm ready.
At what point do we finally muscle up and say, you know what? Our podcast, like, we can go beyond our high school friends. Like, you know, like, in terms of no longer needing, or no longer wanting, because...
Yeah.
I would like to make it clear, we need any kind of interaction and outreach.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to, foo-foo on getting a high school friend to promote us. I'm more so saying, should we just skip that step and instead focus on just promoting ourselves to the world? Because, I mean, when's the last time we told a story about high school on here?
That's a good
last
point.
episode?
Well, I'm also just thinking of I don't have high school friends. You're my high school friend.
Right.
And I have, like, one other.
Yeah. You know, I read it.
So, I don't...
Yeah, what do we do there?
Like, I actually... Yeah, I don't even know a high school friend I could reach out to because I don't have any of them.
Huh. Just got a notification in the bottom of my
yeah,
phone.
like, what was that?
Shout out to your... I don't know. You're a something. But it's not a joke. It was a username. An old neighbor of mine is playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh.
This was a person who worked at Walmart, hired me to work at Walmart a few years ago, was our next door neighbor. Really cool guy, really great family. They have since moved away.
Oh.
But really great family, really great guy. I apologize. He said, hey, do you have a computer? And I said, yes. And then he said, do you play video games? And I said, yes. And then he said, oh, you should add me. Let's play together sometime. Okay. And then I said, great. We added each other. And then he kept, every time I would see him like out in the cul-de-sac or stuff, he'd be like, yeah, I haven't seen you on. Like, or hey, are you free tonight? And I just kept saying no. And then eventually he hit me with one of those like adult lines of like, hey man, you can tell me if you don't want to play with me. It's fine. And I was like super sad. And I was like, no, man. So anyways, I feel bad.
Wait, how old is he?
Probably in his 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that situation sucked.
That's a tough one.
Like, what'd you say? Did you ever game with him?
No, of course not.
Did you say, like, oh yeah, you're right, man, I actually don't want to game with you?
No, I'm saying I probably lied. And it was like, I'm just so busy.
Right.
He's like, you work at Walmart.
I know your schedule.
From 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. Play at noon.
Oh, that's really funny.
To be clear, I only worked at Walmart for 2 weeks, so...
Really?
This was probably outside.
Oh, because it was just over the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Longest 2 weeks of my life.
I remember going on walks with you after you get off shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are like, hey, so 8 a.m.? 8 a.m. sound good for the trails? I'm just like, yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
Why did I think your Walmart experience lasted so much longer? In my head, it was like...
Well, probably because every time you saw me, I probably looked 20 years older. I was in a big beard phase at the time.
Yeah.
That was kind of new.
Okay.
Like, you guys hadn't really seen that side of me before, so maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, that could be it.
And now I have a mustache.
Nice.
What would you think about if I grew out? No.
Immediately.
Are those called handlebars?
Yeah. Are you doing that?
No.
Okay.
It kind of looks like it, though, on the...
It does.
With the shading.
Yeah. You also have one of these on the shading.
The soul patch.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't really like that. Can you try turning on that lamp to see if the shading goes away? Never mind. All right. Okay, so we mapped out our goals for the pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna reach beyond our high school group.
Yeah, we're gonna make a marketing plan, even if that's just me and you with colored pencils drawing out a marketing plan.
Okay, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah,
we could do it on the fly. There's nothing better than using an episode to plan future episodes.
Other episodes.
We get away with it every season.
We should get a manager.
Again, we're losing money, or are they working for us for free? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who
if you'd like to be a manager, reach out.
We'll take anyone.
Yeah. Send us your resume at MikeandSullyPod@gmail.com.
Your experience promoting and monetizing.
Right. Well, we know some DJs.
Do we?
And they're good at promoting things. Yeah.
Who?
High school people.
I don't know them.
Okay. Imagine you're at a club in Seattle.
I don't even know how to imagine that. I've never...
Give it up for Mike and Sully!
Hate.
And then the crowd goes wild.
The crowd says, who? Where are the monsters?
Ooh. You know what I was thinking? Well, never mind. I'll keep this a secret in case I figure it out before I post this episode, because it has to do with our intro.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll tell you after the pod.
Okay. I have so many things to ask you after the pod.
You know what I learned in editing of the last 2 episodes of season 2 was I can now pretty effectively mute or bleep our words without the screen going black.
Oh.
I don't know if you've watched enough of it to know that that's what happens. Mm-hmm. It just goes fully black and then comes back. But I figured out how to make it so like my mouth would keep moving and you would see us, but you would just hear beep.
Nice.
So that's
cool. Good.
That was a fun one.
And you learned how to make the beep not so loud.
I definitely learned that.
And you learned how to put pictures?
I have not gone back here. I have not gone back and edited old episodes of loud beeps.
Tough.
So if you go back and listen, you will still hear
for all of our new
beeps.
Listeners who are going back, and that's tough.
I'm so sorry.
Be ready for that.
It would only be season 3, so it wouldn't take me too long to edit.
And only a couple episodes.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do it. I actually went back and listened to episode 1 of season 1. Skipped it 5 seconds in. Just because of how uncomfortable it was to not hear, well, and we're back. Instead, it was, hey, everybody. No wonder we haven't gained a following. That's what people are getting exposed to first. Hey, everybody. Without any video. They just think the little green guy is talking to them. Hey, everybody. Wow. They hate that. So that's fair. But then I listened to episode 2.
Okay.
Much better.
Nice. Improving.
Yeah. And then I listened to season 2, episode 4.
Oh. And which one was that?
That was the church story.
Right.
Yeah.
I get a lot of compliments on that one.
Oh, good. You know what's crazy? We don't talk about the church story for like the first half hour. That's what threw me off the most.
General chit-chat.
Yeah. Join Mike and Sully for general chit-chat and then a 15-minute broken down summary of a story that should take 2 hours. Okay, so we have that mapped out. Do you want to talk about your goals? Or
my
are they
personal
private?
Goals? Well, I do, but I don't have my piece of paper. And I haven't transcribed it onto my phone yet.
What? You can't think of any?
Of my goals for 2025? Yeah. New Testament. Number 1.
Okay, we're doing that again.
Well, I'm actually in a group, so I am going to do it this
Oh,
week.
come on. You're going to abandon me like that?
Do you want to join the group?
Is it like a group I'd be welcome in?
What does that mean?
Like, you know.
It's
what if I
literally
made
my
jokes?
extended family.
Oh. Okay.
And we read a chapter.
Wait, is it a study, though?
No, you just read it.
Oh.
It's just like
Okay.
It's just like a read the New Testament.
Great.
Monday through Friday, we read 1 chapter each day.
Okay.
Super manageable.
What time will we finish? If we do that?
I'll have to check the calendar, but before the year's end.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. How far behind am I?
We're only like 11 or 12
in John.
chapters.
Matthew. Sorry. Wait, but are you doing the books in order, or is it mixed up?
It's all over.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Never read all 4 Gospels in a row.
You'd think it would be great, because you're like, oh, I already read this. It'll be easy. And it's like, this is just tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we start with Matthew, and I think the very last one we read is Luke, maybe?
Oh. Luke was the doctor.
I have no information. I also don't know if any of that was accurate, so.
Okay. We're not biblical scholars, but this is a religious pod.
I want to grow 3 homegrown foods.
3 homegrown foods.
So I have to get a garden going.
Okay,
so
sure.
That's gonna be
I feel like your biggest issue there is the deer.
Well, I'm supposed to be getting a fence built.
Okay.
But it's not really happening, and...
I could build it.
Would you?
Sure.
Because no one else will.
Let me tell you how I would do it. First step, build a trench. Second step,
fill it with rocks. And then I have a lot of things actually.
Oh, great. Yeah.
It's the year of confidence for me.
Love that.
So I want to, gain some confidence back in a lot of different places.
Okay.
Just with like work in general, like I want to be really sharp. No, I just want to be like really sharp on like, all the material. Sure. Like about the specific plane and just like general stuff.
Very cool.
The New Testament.
Yes.
Kind of goes into that.
Okay.
Confident in spirituality and stuff.
Love that.
I'm starting a fitness plan to be confident in myself and just like to be healthy because that's important.
I like how you said that, and I don't want to interject here, but I think it's important to call out, because I feel very similarly, the key thing you didn't say that I feel like most people would expect you to say or would say themselves is feeling confident in your body. Because Because that's not what you said.
No.
Honestly, we don't even we hate that word.
Yeah, we hate it. We actually don't say the B word. Beep it out. And then I have chosen 3 people in my life that I want to continue to get to know and like.
Oh, get to know. I thought you were going to say like stay
cut out.
Whoa.
No, not like get to know, but just like I want to put more time into those friendships.
Okay.
You're not one because we're already good. It's like other ones, and I'm like, oh, I want to.
I'm like, man, you keep scheduling time with me. What?
I just
what
saw
is
you.
This?
So those are some of them.
I love that. Wow, those are all really cool, actually.
Thanks.
Very well thought out.
Well, I had a long flight to Beijing last week, so
that'll help.
Lots of
that
thinking.
will help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Let's see. So far, it's hard to say goals. Like some things, I feel like I have a goal for like action over inaction,
Nice.
which I've already started off great this year.
You guys have had a great start to your year.
Thank you. I think specifically when it comes to that, I mean like in terms of outreach. Like if I care enough about something where I want to talk to someone about it, being able to just reach out.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens, happens. If they don't want to talk to me, whatever. If they do, great. And then you go from there.
Which that's hard to do. Like
super hard to do. Well, depending on the 2 scenarios I described, I won't get into details here. But those 2 scenarios, it was like one was like so scary because, and one wasn't just because of like, I guess, I don't even know what it was that drove what was so scary about one thing. What?
No, I'm just thinking of your story of trying to call that person.
Oh.
It was just funny. It was really relatable.
I tried to call. See, this is why I wish I hadn't told you earlier.
We had like 2 hours of just chatting before
we had a 2-hour
this.
pizza party.
Pizza
party. No, very quickly. I wanted to talk to an old college professor of mine who I was good friends with, but I hadn't talked to him in a few years. So I still had his number in my phone, but I didn't know if it was still his number. It probably was, but didn't know. And then and it was just like it had been a while, and I didn't know what it would be like. So I was trying to figure out the best time to call him, and so I looked up his course catalog, and he's teaching all online courses though this quarter. So all the times say to be announced, and so I was like, okay, well, what's the most likely time he'd be free to talk? And so I thought, well, that's probably lunch. And so sometime like noon, that'd be good. And then I was like, well, maybe I can catch him right before lunch. Like a class might just end at like 11:50, and then he'll be going to lunch at noon. So I'll just call him at 11:55. And so then I go and I sit in this exact chair, and I'm sitting here, and 11:55 comes. And I'm just kind of staring at his contact name, and I have butterflies in my stomach, and then I'm like, the whole minute goes by, and then I was like, well, you know what? 12:07 seems like a perfect time to call him. It's not right at noon. It's not right at 12:05.
Yeah.
Gives him 7 minutes. Maybe he could make a sandwich in that amount of time, and then we could chat. And so so then 12:07 came, and I was sitting in this chair. And instead of looking at his contact, I was on my home screen on my phone, and the clock app, if you don't know this, the second hand moves, even on just the preview of the app. So I was just watching that second hand go all the way around, and then it became 12:08. And then at 12:08, I finally committed. I said, I can't let this get to 12:10, or I'll never call.
That's too far.
I'll never call. And then my own idiosyncrasies, and then I finally did call, and it went very well.
And it was perfect timing for him too.
It worked out great. Yeah, he got to walk right away from his family.
This guy's awesome.
Sorry, kids. Cooler guy than you was on the phone. Well, it was funny because on the call he talked a little bit about how like part of the reason he works fully online now is because he said like, well, my kids are only going to be 11 and 7 for so long. And then I was like, yeah, man, but you just took this call. They're only going to be eating lunch today one time, and you decided to talk to me. I didn't actually say that. But I don't know if he would have laughed.
Yeah.
He hangs up. My kids.
I can't miss
and the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon.
That's funny.
How'd we get there? Oh, goals.
Well, you've done a really good job with outreach.
Action. Yeah. Action over inaction. And a little bit of that plays into like last year, I feel like action versus inaction would have applied specifically in a medical sense, where I was like trying to think on how to make all of my head stuff figure itself out. And I think this year that's still true because the action, sorry to be more specific, the action was like I'm going to go to the doctor.
Right.
I'm not going to sit back.
And advocate for yourself.
Yeah. Now it's like, okay, I did some of that last year. Didn't get necessarily all the results I wanted, but made progress and at least advocated for myself more to where now I want more action over inaction in areas that I can even more specifically control to see if those are things that, little things like, like I'm doing dry January. And I don't expect dry January to like radically change my life, but you better believe that if this facial numbness goes away, I will never touch another drink in my entire
life. Have you noticed
any
changes?
No, it's still there.
Oh, okay. I thought you'd cracked the code.
No, it's still there. Every once in a while. Actually, it was happening to me this morning, and maybe this is cracking the code. It happened to me this morning, and finally, I so rarely get the opportunity and just the drive to do this. Because usually I'm prescribed anxiety medication, and usually I take it like as I was wrapping up 2024, I was taking it at regularly scheduled intervals. Like I would take it when I like started my morning, and then I would take one later in the evening, and that was it. I just took 2 pills. Today, I've been off the medication for a little while. I had this horrible illness to end 2024, and I didn't want to take my anxiety meds.
You were sick?
Yeah, I was super sick when I was down in Colorado and came home.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah. I may or may not have been the slightest bit sick, but enough to risk it to go record a certain episode with a certain someone. I was like, I don't know if they'll be able to tell. But a certain someone, your father, was like, you just have cough drops? And I was like, yeah, I just have cough drops. Of course. Of course I have cough drops. What do you mean?
That's so funny.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, falafel sounds great right now. And I'm like, oh.
Wow, you didn't have to eat it.
No, the Greek food was actually good.
It was
so
good.
But I definitely was like partially sick. But I was like, I don't think I'm going to get you sick.
I didn't get sick, but Ross did.
Weeks later, right?
Just saying.
Well, the sacrifices we make. All that to say, oh, right. I was admitting to I haven't been taking it regularly.
Right.
Because it's really hard to take your anxiety medication when you aren't being hit by the symptoms of your anxiety. And that's what's so almost indicative of the fact that some of my symptoms are anxiety induced because I was sick and then went to Colorado, like healed up, went to Colorado, and unfortunately got sick again. Yeah. And in those periods of time when I was sick, not a blip. Oh, it makes me think like my body's fixated on fixing some other part of me that it can't bother me elsewhere. Like it's like, oh, we're actually dying, like somewhere else. We gotta go do some repairs. But then let's go back to sabotaging his cheekbone. But either way, so like I had kind of gotten out of the habit of taking it just because I didn't want to take it while I was sick because I wasn't feeling it.
Right.
Anyways, so I haven't been taking it for a while, and then today it was kind of acting up. This morning while I was in the office, and I was like, oh, like, but I was like, I should take note of this. Like, it's happening right now, and I keep my medication in my backpack, and so I took it out and popped a pill, which sounds cool, and my pills do sometimes make me dizzy,
which sounds cool. Like, okay. Sorry.
But so that was a risk.
The dizziness?
Yeah, I did get a little dizzy.
Okay.
At my desk, but the overall sensation actually went down. It did subside a little bit.
Interesting.
So, but my point being, I have been so bad about taking things when I'm actually impacted. The only because even when I was taking it, I was just taking it at certain times.
Yeah.
So, like in the morning, even if I wasn't having like a feeling, I would just take it because that's when I took it. Whereas I'm wondering if I should just try and be a little bit more direct, which is a little bit harder, right? Because I'm not. You would have to be more. You'd have to have intent behind where you take your medicine, like in terms of bringing it with you. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It worked today. Like I felt better. Like it took roughly like 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, for it to kick in.
Yeah.
So could be cool. Could be on the brink of something.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. All that being said, I want to take action to continue to battle those things, but also evaluate other areas of my life. So like doing a dry January just to evaluate where that's at. Did I ever tell you where I got the idea for dry January? I invented it actually. I just thought that sounded good.
Yeah.
No, Tom Holland. He was on a radio show and he did an interview.
Recently?
Oh no, I think this was from a while ago, but it was like it crops up every once in a while.
Okay.
And he said he did dry January. And then he did dry February because dry January was so hard for him.
Okay.
And he was like, why is it so hard?
Yeah.
So he's like, so I'm going to do dry February. And then that was really hard for him. And then he ended, I don't know if he still is, but I'm pretty sure in the story he was, at that time of the interview, he was like 6 months sober.
Wow.
Well, I don't like saying 6 months sober. That feels...
Yeah.
I don't know if he was doing it for sobriety's sake, but either way, he had gone 6 months without a drink, and I don't know if he still is doing that or not. But I was like, I want to see if it's hard.
Yeah.
Like,
has it been?
No, I mean we jibber jabs before this, but no, I think the way I described it to you guys was there are moments. Like over a weekend where it's like you identify if you drink casually, again, not even like partying, but just like if you drink casually a lot of weekends, you start to connect weekends with casually drinking. And so definitely so far this January, on the only couple of weekends we've had, there have been moments where I'm just like, oh, like literally, Celia was coming home one night. And it was like I was just like, oh, I should like have a drink like ready for her, like kind of thing, because like that's just what we would share a glass of wine or something. Well, sorry, we would share a bottle of wine and both have a glass. I don't want to make the audience think we were passing a glass of wine between ourselves.
I don't think they thought
now
that.
You sip. But that kind of stuff. So no, it hasn't been. I don't think I would describe it like I have not had a. Man, I really want to get in the car and like go buy a 6-pack,
right?
Or type of thing, which is good. That's where I was like, okay, if that is the case, then we have to have a deeper conversation. But so far, so good.
Nice.
Like it's been just kind of like this, even the small things. Like I thought the small things would be where it's most difficult. For example, we went to Red Robin last week, and like even there, it was just like, I was like, man, what if I just like want to order a beer?
Yeah.
But it's like, I ordered a really fun lemonade.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's fun.
And like, I can drink soda more often now.
That's true.
There are pros to this. You're eating this up over there. I told you. So yeah, that's cool. You should do, what's the opposite of a dry January?
Yeah. Yeah, I went...
Soggy December.
Hated that. I went on a trip recently.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks ago, I had a trip to Beijing, and one of the other pilots I was working with we were figuring out what people were going to do when we landed, and he, unprompted, turned to me and said, "Do you drink?" And which I thought was interesting because normally it's like we go out to dinner or something, and then they tell me to order beer, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't drink." And then we go from there. But he unprompted asked me if I drink. So now I'm like, okay, do I just give off the vibe that I don't drink? Probably it. Or is he getting more answers from people that they don't drink? So it's more common where he's like, I'll just ask. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
But I said, oh, no, I don't. And he said, okay. So I was like,
do you think you give off the vibe that you don't drink?
For sure.
Like, how quick?
Immediately. At least at work. People tell me I'm extremely serious at work. Oh. Newsflash, it's a serious job. So,
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I probably give off that vibe. But, I did think it was interesting how he said that. And actually, I was kind of glad that his reaction was like, okay. Because he, in the briefing, had been talking about he's kind of seems like a heavy drinker. Anyways, and I didn't want to get involved with that. I was like, you know what? Guess who doesn't want to be out till 2 a.m? It's me. I want to go to bed. So, anyways, dodged a bullet there. But I did think it was interesting. And I ordered a Coke. It was really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do I look like someone who does drink?
I'll be honest. When you told me that you had to do dry January, and it was a...
Had to. Wait, no. Again, the phrasing.
That you chose to do dry January and that you normally have a drink on the weekends, I was surprised.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea.
Really?
I would not have associated.
You're out of here. Guys, this is the last episode of the Mike and Sully podcast.
Just kidding. No, but I didn't know that. I definitely thought you guys were like, oh, a glass of wine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
well, because you didn't used to drink.
We're a candid podcast here. What do you mean I didn't used to drink?
I don't know how much you used to drink.
Okay, this is good.
Back when we lived in the other place.
Yeah, that's a great example where I feel like, audience, you tell us, you decide who's the more naive in this scenario. I while living together, I bought a wine fridge.
Okay, well, I knew that.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, the things I did in front of you, that would have made me think you thought of me as a heavier drinker. So, bought a wine fridge.
Yeah.
Bought a...
wine subscription.
A wine subscription. Bought a wine advent calendar. And then spent how many evenings in front of you making cocktails?
Okay, the mixing bottles that we couldn't get.
Yeah. King, king, king. Yeah.
Okay, true.
So I am genuinely surprised at your surprise.
Yeah.
Mostly because, I thought as a joke I would ask you, do I look like a drinker? Because I thought you would for sure just be like, yeah. Not like a heavy...
Well, you're not a
there's
drinker,
levels.
though.
There's levels.
You drink alcohol, but you're not like a drinker. I feel
right. Yeah. But I feel like I feel like this is a road where if we keep going down it, you're gonna reevaluate every hangout we've ever had. Where if I'm like you know that episode of Ted Lasso we were watching, I was drunk.
Well, if it was the one about Coach, you kind of had to be.
Well,
terrible episode.
Amen. Bad episode.
This is the worst.
Wow. Yeah. No. I think. Yeah. I think. Because I started, first drink I ever had, I was 20.
Right.
Illegal. Don't do it.
I would never.
Don't do it, kids. Yeah. Then, once I became of age, drank mostly out and about.
Yeah.
But then, we didn't have... while I was still finishing college, there wasn't a lot going on because COVID and stuff.
Right.
But no, I'd say once I moved in with you, it was definitely casual drinking.
Yeah.
So.
But it was never anything crazy.
Well, okay, this no judgment to anyone listening to this. I more so view it in terms of the levels. As long as I can go to or wake up every morning thinking I did not annoy someone yesterday because I was drunk. The second you do that, that's where I'm
okay,
over the line.
Well, you were never annoying.
Well, that's what I would hope you would think that. That's what I'm saying. That's the line.
Also, I think that I don't know how much, drinking wine. I don't know how much that is.
I think people would laugh if they saw the advent calendar bottles because I would just down one of those.
Yeah.
A whole one.
Yeah.
In a night while we were just...
Well, there were a couple times that there was more than one.
Because we had to get through the 25 days.
I got a drink.
You were more of an enabler than I think you know.
I like looking at the labels.
Let's pop another one.
It says it's from Italy.
Day 10. It's December 4th.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you got me.
That's great. That is excellent. I did not expect that to go there, but that's really good. We should evaluate other, like, moral things.
Lovely.
On every episode in season 4. Let's get Sonam and Sideshow to weigh
Nice. Oh, yeah.
First question out the bat. How heavy of a drinker are you?
Well, in the little bit of his episode that I saw, he said, I'll be honest, there have been a couple of these.
Oh! Yeah, okay. Ooh, okay, potential idea. I'll try and write this down as soon as... Or we're recording, so never mind. But,
we said that last time, though, and I forgot what we were supposed to be...
No, but I'll rewatch it.
Yeah.
And then we'll remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Episode idea where we do basically like 2 truths and a lie, except it's crafted stories where it's either like a story that I lived myself as a drinker or a made up story, and you have to say if it was me or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
And 2 of the things are true?
Well, no, there would only be 2 things.
Oh,
truth and a lie. But more like both could be true. It's more just like one thing I did, one thing I didn't.
Okay.
Like it could be.
I'm ready to play right now.
No. I don't have them. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I can't even think of one on the spot. No, I cannot. My favorite, let me tell you my favorite gimmick.
Okay.
From Living Together, where again, enabler, but
doesn't sound like me.
It was anytime something good happened to like one of my sports teams, Sully would join in on that joyfulness, but then I would use it as an excuse to be like, yeah, let's pour a drink.
But we usually had like root beer on hand or something, so I could.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It was definitely a group event, but just different drinks.
Yeah.
The only time I think you were even the mildly concerned about my drinking habits was me with a pizza box, a glass of wine on your bedroom floor, talking about how I didn't want to even set up a retirement account or a savings account.
That talk turned serious real quick.
Yeah. I sobered up real quick. I said, "Oh, she looks disappointed."
Oh, she's serious.
To be clear, I did at the time, and still do have retirement.
Nice.
I just didn't know it because I hadn't looked at my finances closely enough. But Sully was very worried.
Well,
fairly. That's on me.
We got it sorted out.
We did.
Yeah,
now things are looking up.
Yeah.
So now I have too much money to buy alcohol. I feel like people are not going to parse out how much I'm kidding versus how much I'm telling the truth in this episode. No one is in danger.
No.
I actually did, at my last physical, get my reports run for specifically my liver and stuff, and we are in good shape.
Nice.
We're in okay shape.
Oh.
Like not like we're in good. Good was the right word. It was like he was like you're totally normal and fine.
Oh, okay.
When I said okay, I meant more like neutral. Like my liver isn't like
it's still good.
Going extra good, but it's not.
Do you think mine's extra good?
No, I bet it's average.
That sucked.
A friend from college got his like whatever report
Do I know
that
this
is.
Friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this was actually a few years ago, so it might not even be fully, but it was like alcohol related, but it was just ironic. He got it run, and it came back below average. Yeah.
Whoa. Is that something that gets better? Like if he were to stop drinking,
you can slowly recover. I mean, there's definitely a point of no return, but at that you would know at that point. But I'm pretty sure I watched a YouTube video on this.
What does your liver do? I'm a little.
It does the.
Do you need it?
It does the bile, and the, and it secretes something. I think.
Why does
but
alcohol
I'm pretty
bad
sure
for
like. What?
Isn't alcohol bad?
Well, because it's processing, and then like the alcohol like poisons it, or something like that.
Thanks.
And then, never take ibuprofen after drinking, because ibuprofen's already bad for your liver. And then if you have been drinking, your your liver is already in a weakened state, and then ibuprofen's more likely to make it worse. But in the moment, it's a quick fix because the ibuprofen still does get in your bloodstream. Yeah, that's why people do it. But it's bad. Don't do that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, quickest hangover reprieve. People joke about it, but it's worked for me. A bowl full of ice, you fill it, and then you add water, and then you just dunk your head in.
That sounds really awful.
And it's fun. You feel very fresh.
Or you could just get a good night's sleep, not drink, and feel refreshed without it.
One of my main things that I've been telling Celia is, like, as much as there are fun things associated with drinking culture, so far in January, I have to admit, it has been nice to wake up every single morning without a single... Like, I've still woken up tired and other things, of course, but, like, no headache, no hangover.
Have you gotten better sleep, do you think? Ooh, maybe your ring will tell you.
My ring... That is interesting. My ring says, how many spiders are you fighting off in bed? So, no, I'm not getting better sleep. No, the terrors are unrelated to alcohol, folks. We figured that out. I had a terror last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, I felt so bad for Celia. I was, like, over her, like, I was trying to stamp on there was a very big spider.
Oh.
Yeah. And she said a sweet thing.
Celia.
She was like, she said something along the lines of, she might be able to correct me on this, but from what I remember, because I was half waking up as she was talking to me, but I remember her being like, hey, it's just me and you, there's no spider, and I was like, they're right there. I see him. Yeah, I pick him up. He's right here.
Aragog.
King of the arachnids. Yeah. So that was tough. So no, that's a goal. I'm gonna add that to a goal because I spent a lot of money on this mood ring, and I want to be more direct about my approach to sleep specifically. So, like, I want to try and use this the way you say, like, some of your pilot's friends do, where, like, I want to be able to say, okay, I went to bed at this time and woke up this time. It says I got this good of sleep. Okay, what are other factors? And then, like, and then play around with it.
Nice.
Like, oh, okay, I stopped eating at this time, and then did, all that kind of stuff.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
I watched, I had my phone on, I didn't have my phone on, or fan on, not fan on. Because, I'm big into, I love audio playing.
Yeah.
But a lot of the times I feel like it's probably not good for you.
Do you have it to, set a timer and then have it stop playing?
It's usually just a YouTube video, so, like, it'll end when it ends. And, like, I'm not watching, like...
Do you have it, here, or do you just have it playing out?
No, usually just playing. Sometimes, like, I'll go to bed, if I want to go to bed, or if I want to get in bed but still actively watch something, I'll wear headphones, but I'll take them off before I can't fall asleep with headphones on. Problem is, we were actually talking about this at work yesterday, of, like, what are the end game ramifications of, like, all our Bluetooth and, like, not a, like, super conspiracy kind of way, but, like, can't be great to fall asleep with your phone right next to your head every day.
Yeah.
But I've been doing it.
They've been saying that for years.
Right.
Like, since I was in, like, I don't know, elementary or
yeah, so I feel like there'd be, I don't know, but I don't know how much they're studying it and stuff like that.
Well, they used to say, and I don't know if this is true, but, like, when we were young, to not sleep with it next to you.
Yeah.
And also to not, like, have it near reproductive.
Yes. So far, so good.
I feel like they would have announced something about that if it was.
You know where they did get us, though? The pinky indent. Like how eventually we're all going to evolve to have, like, this indent on our pinky. Do you see it on me?
Yeah, but isn't that just how pinkies are shaped?
No. If you look at, like, people who don't use phones, their pinkies are straight. Because they're not always holding their phone like that.
Where's the person who doesn't use a phone?
Like old people. Show me an old person's
I'll get my grandpa on the pod.
Yeah, get him on the pod.
But I have it on this hand, too, and I don't ever hold my phone in this hand. Or I guess when I go like this, but that wouldn't be right there.
Okay, stop. Because
I go like this a lot.
Let me have my conspiracy theories.
That checks.
Please.
But I can't even hardly hold it like this. And I'm not. Veto.
Okay. Well, anything else?
Did we cover anything on our list?
Yeah, we talked about... We gotta nail that next episode. Little surprise tease. Down there.
Nice.
But no, I think we're good. I honestly thought we might have stopped around like 45 minutes. It was feeling good, and then we just started talking about alcohol and had way too much fun. Away we go.
Lovely.
Cool. Well, thank you all for joining. Welcome to season 4. We're excited. We're pumped.
Yeah.
We're technically behind. That was the only thing that scared me about. I know we took a 3-month break.
Yeah.
But we dropped season 3 on New Year's Day.
I know.
And now we're 17 days in.
I know.
16? 16 days in.
Well, I have been gone a lot.
Yeah.
Like, of this month, I've been gone most of it.
I think if we can get out of January with 2 episodes even, I'd feel solid.
Yeah. Well, next week, let's do it.
Right.
And also go thrifting.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I'll be here setting up. Okay. Well, thank you all. Please send us an email or potentially call in if we ever get that.
Actually, email us your New Year's resolutions. That'd be so fun. I'd love to hear them.
Or goals.
Yeah.
Or
themes.
Whatever.
Any resolutions or goals or themes you'd like to see for the podcast that we didn't mention?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And what do you think about the ones we already laid out?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
Please email.
Please email us. Cool. Okay. Catch you all later. Thank you so much.
Bye.